In this episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about setting the rage table for 3, vengeful bathroom scenes, playing with Barbies, and fictional cliff hangovers in our discussion of Omens Bite by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. Hey everybody, welcome to Fictional Hangover, a podcast about young adult and new adult books, series, authors, and voice actors that is full of spoilers. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire, and today we're going to discuss Omens Bite by PC Cast and Kristen Cast.
Standard disclaimer, if you haven't read this book, please remember that Fictional Hangover is all about spoilers. If you haven't read or listened and don't want to be spoiled, stop listening to us and go read or listen to the book. Then come back. If you haven't at this point, pretend that you have, or if you don't care about spoilers, or if you just like the show so much that you don't care about any of that, then listen up.
I thought you were going to pass out there. You started that on half a breath.
I did. I haven't done that in a while. I've been doing them slow and leisurely, but not today. Not today. No.
For there is much to discuss.
There is. And we have something very special happening around Would You Rather time. We have a guest joining us. Now, don't get too excited, because it's not PC Cast and Kristen Cast, although we talked about it, and we planned it, and then we were like, no, let's promote your new book that comes out in July instead, and that's going to be really fun. So we're going to talk about Into the Mist with PC Cast in a couple of months, but we are going to have one of our very first Patreon members, Coral, joining us for Would You Rather. And look, we have been trying to get Coral on this podcast for 1,000 years.
At least. We've
and
been
now
in
it's
the
happening.
Underworld and back again trying to get Coral.
We have, and you know
podcast.
what? Time doesn't make sense there.
It doesn't. We took our phones, we set an alarm, and what happened? Messed up.
No, did not work. But we're very excited for Coral to be joining us. And remember, if you would ever like to join us for a game of Would You Rather, all you have to do is join our Patreon. Yay. We have a special tier just for Would You Rather. It's the Would You Rather tier, shockingly enough, is what it's called.
Gas.
So everyone go and check out our Patreon. Go check out our Patreon right now.
Do it.
Patreon.com/fictionalhangover. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. You also get really fantastic videos from us that are also terrible.
Exactly. You can see exactly what we're doing right now.
Yes.
Even if this bit is edited out of the audio.
Yes. Yes.
And you're going to see our fantastic t-shirts that we put on. We dress up for these things.
We do. I'm not dressed up today. I'm wearing my work t-shirt today, but I mean, it is nice.
But it
Slinky.
is also appropriate given a conversation you're going to have soon.
Technically, I've already had the conversation.
Technically. But can you go back and watch it?
You can. You can. You can go to Saline County Library's Facebook page and watch the delightful interview with Jackson Ford that just took place earlier this week. It's wonderful.
Time is meaningless in the underworld.
Time is meaningless in Duat. Sorry, everyone.
But the beauty is, in the audio version, that could be edited to make sense. And only the Patreon version would be all this wonderful craziness.
Yeah.
However, knowing Amanda, everybody's getting everything.
Yeah, probably. I've really slacked off on the editing lately, okay? I'm just leaving it all in. I'm just leaving in every...
It's so stressful.
No, it's fine.
Anywho, I'm going to go back to the actual topic at hand.
Yes.
Which is Omens Bite.
Yes, and PC Cast and Kristen Cast, which, you know, my background info this time is like, look, just go back and listen to any of our episodes with them, because there's a lot of them.
Well, exactly. We did talk to both PC and Kristen for the first Sisters of Salem book.
Yes, Spells Trouble. We talked to both of them, and we've talked to PC Cast several times about House of Night, and she's wonderful, and we're talking to her.
Hear the build up to these books.
You
in the
can.
interviews,
You
which is
can.
nice.
It's really great. With the first one, she was like excited about a new project that was coming, and then it was, oh yeah, our new our new trilogy is starting, and now here we are in the middle of it. And we're already talking about her next book that comes out in July. We're pre-excited for PC Cast things.
Bubbling balls of energy.
Yes,
Cool.
we are. Okay. Do we have initial thoughts? Do we remember what happens at the end of book 1?
Hangover? No, well, yeah.
Hangovers.
Hangover.
Yes.
Cliffhangers as well.
Cliff hangovers.
Cliff hangovers.
That's our new thing. Fictional cliff hangovers. What?
I don't know. I feel like I should preempt everything with the caveat of saying, my words have been really rubbish this week, so enjoy.
Yeah, we don't have good words this week, so it's going to be interesting.
I have not been good English this week.
No. But remember, at the end of book 1, Hunter and Mercy are twin witches, and their mom just died.
And their cat turned into a person.
Their cat turned into a person, but their mom died protecting a gate because the sisters, or the family before the mother died, are guardians of gates to the underworld that are all in this one little, beautiful little witchy town called Goodyville. And now the sisters are the gate guardians because the mother is dead, and, well, terrible shit happens.
I feel like there's a womp womp in there, or maybe 2.
There's 1 or 2 womp womps.
Definitely.
So here we are.
Or you could go back and listen to the episode.
You can go back and listen to the episode, or you can read our summary at fictionalhangover.com/summaries. There's a lot of them there. One of these days, I swear to Lucifer, I'm going to make them searchable, but I just don't know how to do it yet. But they're all there. Almost. Most of the summaries are there. We got a lot of summaries, okay? Give me a break.
On that note,
let's start another summary.
which is available at fictionalhangover.com.
/summaries. Okay. Hunter Goody is currently digging her mother's grave.
Ooh. Womp womp.
Womp womp. Abigail Goody was killed in the 3 witches' attempt to heal the 5 trees concealing the gates to the underworld. Why did I say everything that I just said? Because it's right here, and it's just the beginning of the summary.
I was wondering, but I didn't want to interrupt. You were so enthusiastic.
Fuck. Mercy, Hunter's twin. Well, this part I didn't say. This part's fine. Mercy, Hunter's twin, guilted Hunter into forsaking her chosen god, Tyr, just like she guilts her into everything else. Hunter has always done everything for her sister, but she's not doing that anymore. She's fed up. She stomps inside covered with mud and leaves a trail for someone else to clean up.
Mercy is inside preparing for the ritual that she, her best friend Emily, Xena the cat person, Hunter and Hunter's best friend Jax are about to perform before Abigail's wake. Mercy requests that they all wear white and bring something to gift to Abigail. Hunter is seething at not being allowed to mourn in her own way and feels like Mercy is just doing this for attention. The 5 go outside and prepare, but soon enough Hunter has had enough of Mercy's fakeness and she leaves the ceremony, grabs a suitcase she packed a few days ago and leaves the Goody house to live with Jax. Mercy doesn't believe her sister is really gone, but soon enough it is time for the wake. She has to put on a good face. She's still angry after it's over because Hunter has not returned. Xena says she doesn't believe Hunter will come back. Ooh.
Xena's pretty smart.
Xena's very smart. She's the smartest person in the series.
Yes. Cat person.
Yes. Cat smart.
She's the smartest cat and the smartest person and the smartest cat person.
Yes.
Mercy decides she's got to get to work helping the trees because she is always the one who does everything important. She gathers her spell-casting materials and heads to the cherry tree guarding the Japanese gate. She performs her spell under the watchful eyes of 2 ravens, thinking everything is going well. She is wrong. Wrong.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. How many womp womps are we going to have? We need to keep a tally.
Oh, back to that
It's
again.
two womp womps.
2 womp womps so far.
Mercy's circle of salt turns black, and worms and dead leaves fill the space under the boughs. Mercy heads home, feeling very ill, and when she arrives, she and Xena see a dead raven in the front yard. This isn't a good sign at all, and, it really seems like her sister is never coming back.
Get a clue, Mercy. Hunter is getting set up in Jax's family's garage apartment. Jax's mother is very Christian and takes Hunter in because it's the Christian thing to do. Hunter is struggling with becoming her own person and also with reading Moira Goody's grimoire to find a way to heal the trees and seal the gates to the underworld. She pleads for Tear's help, but instead is met by Amphitrite, her new goddess that she was forced to choose by Mercy. Amphitrite artfully cuts up Hunter's no-doubt shirt and pulls her hair from its standard ponytail. She tells Hunter if she wants to be a different person, she's got to be a different person. Then she gives Hunter a book that is very magically powerful. She tells her if she feeds it, it will grow in power. But what do you feed a book?
At school, salad, yes. I'm surprised you didn't come up with something punnier than that.
I was thinking a sandwich cake. Might be just because I want cake.
I don't know what a sandwich cake is, but I like cake.
Cake, cream, jam, cake.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm into that. Okay. Anyway, at school, Kirk, the guy that Mercy dated and made sob his emotions out in the middle of everyone in book 1, is, shockingly, a douchebag. He convinces his football bro and cheerleader friends that Hunter and Mercy are witches, and they have to do something about it. He claims they're responsible for all the murders and the weird trees that are growing around town. It seems like he's lining up the pitchforks and riling up the mob.
I was ready to take to the streets with my fiery and pitchfork and
yeah, me too. Me too. I want to burn Mercy at the stake for most of the book.
Well, I also want to do that to Kirk, but that's beside the point.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We'll rage later. Rage table after summary.
Yes.
After school, however, Hunter watches Jax at football practice. A group of footballer girlfriends tells her to get her man in line, referring to Jax. They assume that because Hunter is dressed differently, she is all of a sudden liking boys.
That's how sexuality works.
One of the bitch girls follows her and taunts her, causing Hunter to grasp the metal railing of the stands and scorching her hands into it.
She's got so much
runs,
power.
But a cheerleader, Kylie, follows with a fancy pen that fell out of Hunter's bag. They talk about their favourite fancy pens, and Hunter gets flustered. But then Jax comes up, and Kylie offers to give them a ride home. Kylie's not flirting with Hunter. She's flirting with Jax.
Ah, damn it. Damn it.
Damn. Womp womp.
Womp womp, number 3. Mercy doesn't know what is going on with Hunter and her new look at school. She decides to go to the trees after school to try to heal them, but her magic doesn't really work. At the Doom Palm, Mercy sees Kenti, the half-dragon, half-boy guardian of the Egyptian underworld, and we all swoon. I love Kenti. She really connects with him. But of course you would, because he's gorgeous and...
Yeah, she wants to connect with him.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does. He suggests that she try a spell away from the trees to see if her magic is broken, or if it's something about the gates. Before she leaves, they touch through the gate, and Mercy's hand begins to die.
Oh my goodness.
No. Kenti tells her that the longer you've lived in one place, the longer you'll survive in the other, unless you take a body. That's why Polyphemus the Cyclops, the villain from Book 1, killed someone almost immediately after coming through the gate. Even though he's very ancient, it's, nicer to have a non-dying body.
Yes, I can see that.
Generally.
At her apartment at Jax's, Hunter plays third wheel to Jax and Kylie, but when Kylie steps outside for a phone call, Hunter does a blood magic spell to save Kylie once Jax using Jax's blood. Hunter found the spell in the grimoire given to her by Aphrodite, and after completing it, she puts her hand, covered in Jax's blood, onto the page. Bright light shines around, and then 4 more spells appear in the book. So this is how she feeds it, not with cake.
Not with cake, with blood.
Oh, doy. Kylie and Jax go out for pizza, leaving Hunter alone with her bloody book, which Aphrodite says isn't finished yet.
Mercy leaves the tree and gets a call from Xena, who wants to eat tuna, shrimp, and broccoli pizza, because of course she does.
Nom, 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 nom.
Mercy says she'll go pick one up on her way home. The pizza man keeps calling her Hunter, but apologizes for the loss of their mother. As Mercy waits for the pizza to be ready, she gets yelled at about God and witchcraft by a homeless man, Chuck, and then hears sirens. She follows the sound down the block and sees a dead man in an alley with his eyeballs missing. Just like all the Cyclops murders in Book 1. But wait, didn't Hunter kill Polyphemus? Mercy gets home to find Emily there, and she tells Emily and Xena about the corpse. They try to call Hunter, but she doesn't answer. After Xena goes to bed, Mercy asks Emily for help testing her magic, like Kenty suggested. They try to make an orchid bloom in Mercy's greenhouse, and she ends up making everything in the greenhouse bloom. Her issue with magic must just be at the gates.
The next day is Emily's dad's funeral. Remember, he was killed by Polyphemus the Cyclops, that now may or may not be dead, or maybe there's a copycat killer? Yeah. Emily wants to do a ritual for her dad, kind of like what Mercy and Hunter did for their mom, so she asks Mercy if she'll do it. Of course she will. The visitation is weird, and Hunter gets bullied by the football bros and their girlfriends. Mercy and Jax try to stand up for her, but she doesn't let them. She rage melts plastic in her hands instead, scaring off the douche group.
I just want to rage melt some plastic sometime.
Yeah, so do I. It sounds therapeutic.
It really does. After the funeral, Mercy is upset, so Xena suggests she seek her goddess's advice. Mercy gathers up offerings to Freya, and she and Xena, in cat form, head to the Norse Gate apple tree, where Abigail died, and they perform a spell. Freya appears to Mercy and says she can't make her more powerful or do anything to really help her, but she will guide her with omens. Freya then gives her a gift before leaving, but doesn't tell Mercy what it is. As Mercy and Xena Cat walk away, Mercy talks to Xena about being excited to have been visited by her goddess. Xena meows in agreement, and Mercy can understand her. Freya's gift! Xena tells Mercy that the gift means she is now officially her familiar and will protect her for the rest of her life. Oh, I love Xena. I want to have a conversation with cats that I can understand.
That would be helpful.
It would be so great, because I talk to my cats all the time.
At school the next day, Hunter isn't paying attention in class and then gives a flippant response and is asked to stay back when the bell rings. Instead of getting in trouble, the teacher offers his condolences and says he knows a counsellor if Hunter needs it. After, she heads to her locker but finds it blocked by Kirk, who says he knows about the body. He suggests that Hunter and Mercy killed their hippie slut mother because they are witches and that he's going to burn them at the stake. He is such a nice guy.
He is so friendly and not at all terrible.
No. Hunter, however, punches him, her ring bludgeoning his face, and then runs off to the bathroom. We all cheer.
Yes, we do. We all cheer loudly at that face punch.
Well, she reaches out to Aphrodite. Oh, for goodness sake! Aphrodite, when Kirk follows her into the bathroom and smashes her into the mirror, shattering it. With the goddess's help, Hunter breaks all of Kirk's fingers on one hand, then coolly steps over him and out of the bathroom. She's ashamed of what she just did, but is swooped up by Kylie and Jax and carried out to Kylie's car and away from the school. And I am not sad that happened.
No, not at all. Not even one tiny little bit. You cannot follow someone into the bathroom and smash them into a mirror. Not okay. During all of this commotion, Mercy is standing outside the other side of campus, waiting for Emily. She sees her former cheerleader friends who start whispering "witch" at her, and she starts feeling sorry for herself. She is greeted by her science teacher, who congratulates her on a perfect score on a test, offers his condolences, and says he has noticed that Mercy and Hunter seem to not be getting along. Conveniently enough, Kylie, Jax, and Hunter drive by right then, making Mercy feel very alone, thinking they're rushing off to a party she's not invited to. Can I just say, look, has Hunter ever gone to a party? No, that is not what Hunter does. So she's not just going off to a party with Jax and Kylie. That's not a thing.
Exactly. All the way through, I was like, does Mercy know her sister at all?
No.
No,
She doesn't.
Not a bit.
No.
Emily arrives soon, and Mercy suggests that they have a sleepover and skip school, but Emily turns her down. Her father's funeral was yesterday, so she should probably spend the evening with her grieving mother. Yes, that is correct. Mercy gets sad about this, but understands. Does she? Emily then asks about the ritual and if they can do it the next day at the lake. And Mercy, still feeling sorry for herself, agrees, even though Hunter will be there. Hunter. She complains about how mean Hunter is being and how she's taking all her anger out on her. Emily says she's just grieving in her own way. They make plans for the ritual, then Emily goes home. Mercy cries at Xena about wanting her old life and her sister back.
Can you just, please, for the love of fuck, stop whining? Mercy, just stop it.
Just for 1 minute would be bliss.
30 seconds. Just stop it.
Xena suggests that Mercy should visit Kenty because he makes her happy.
Kenty is happy to see Mercy and invites her to come through the gate to see his realm. He tells her that she can spend 1 hour in his world without experiencing lasting damage, so she grasps his hand and crosses the barrier. Kenty shows Mercy around the palace and teaches her about some of the gods and goddesses and hieroglyphs and symbols. She asks about a hawk, which symbolizes death, because it makes Mercy think about the ravens she saw earlier and wonders if they're a bad omen after all. Kenty suggests that the ravens were leading her here to find out things about the Egyptian pantheon, which is possible. Then they visit the statue of Hathor, the goddess of joy, love, and women. Mercy leaves her a bottle of perfume as an offering, which Hathor appreciates very much. Soon enough, it's time for Mercy to head back to her own world and to the sandwich shop to get some tuna for Xena. I'm glad that all Xena wants to do is eat.
Go to the sandwich shop and get me a tuna mayonnaise sandwich, but without the bread, and leave off the vegetables.
Yeah. So you just want tuna? And
No,
she's like,
tuna
no.
and the mayonnaise. I like the mayonnaise as well.
I like that. But I lick around the vegetables.
It's not a pleasant crunch. She's a carnivore. She's a cat. Obviously, she's not going to eat veg. I have a question about Xena, but I don't know if it's appropriate to ask right now. We are talking about food.
Do you want to save it?
No, I'm going to ask now, and you can do what you need to do with it.
Okay.
Cats are supposed to be scared of cucumbers? Is Xena?
I don't know. My cats aren't. They're not affected by cucumbers.
It feels like it's a weird internet thing. It might be an internet lie. I think that's an internet lie.
I mean, there are videos of cats being scared by cucumbers, but we tried it with our cats and they were just like, why did you put that cucumber there?
Make that go away. That is not food.
Yeah.
Hunter has been in bed since she got home from punching Kirk and breaking all his fingers. Jax and Kylie come in to check on her, telling her how relieved they are that she dodged Kirk's punch that shattered the mirror and his fingers. Well, it's not what happened. But Hunter isn't brave enough to tell her friends what actually happened. Jax and Kylie leave, and then Amphitrite calls to Hunter, telling her she needs to feed the book to get more spells to heal the gates. So Hunter takes the book and follows Amphitrite to an alley downtown where she finds Chuck, the homeless guy, seemingly eating another man whose belly is cut open and whose eyes are missing. It's going to give you a second to absorb that image.
Yikes.
Chuck says that he's seen Amphitrite in his dreams and then points a knife at Hunter, telling her that it's her turn to make people see. Yikes. Hunter grabs the knife and Amphitrite, saying she's trying to funnel her power into Hunter.
Yeah, right?
Skeptical
sure.
eyebrow. Physically pushes Hunter into Chuck, killing him. Ball? It's just autocorrected to few. Amphitrite cleans up the mess using Chuck's blood to feed the book and make sure there's no sign of Hunter was ever there. Hunter, shaken but with the spells she needs in her book, flees the scene. Had this image of her putting the book down and going
Yep.
Sponge.
Yep. When Mercy leaves the sandwich shop, she is accosted by Kirk, who's hopped up on pills, drunk, and full of ignorant rage. He accuses her of witchcraft, tells her he's going to tell everyone in town that she and her sister are witches and that they're murderers. And then he throws her up against the car, thinking all the time of sexually abusing her. Before he can hurt her, a deputy drives by and puts him in the back of his cruiser. Of course, this is all Mercy's fault, and Kirk vows this is not over. Oh, great. Great!
Meanwhile, Hunter knows she has to go to the gates and perform spells in the newly enhanced blood book, but she's riddled with guilt over killing Chuck. Amphitrite is constantly in her head, telling her she's the only one who has ever helped her, but Hunter wants nothing to do with her anymore. She stops near a gate and sees a raven, thinking it's an omen, and then she steps onto his pendant that she lost the night she was forced to forsake her god. She cries and apologises to Tia, but she hears no response. She decides to work on the gates when she has more of herself to give away. That night, back in her apartment, Amphitrite comes to Hunter again, yelling at her and telling her Tia doesn't care for her. Hunter stands up to Amphitrite, but the goddess doesn't take that well and grabs Hunter's heart, filling her with pain.
Jeez.
Hunter reaches over to the spellbook on the nightstand and casts a fire spell to push the goddess away, then free from her grasp. Hunter carves a pentagram into her body, banishing Amphitrite. She begins to paint a pentagram on the wall in blood to banish the goddess from her home too, when Jax's mom comes in, freaking out about Satanism and forcing Hunter to leave.
Ooh.
It's a difficult scene to explain.
Yeah. Now homeless, Hunter does another spell to clean up the bloody mess she made trying to banish Amphitrite, so at least Jax's mom won't have any evidence of Satan in her apartment. Hunter calls Kylie for help and tells her she got kicked out, which Kylie blames on Kirk. Then she comes to pick her up. Hunter doesn't deny that Kirk is responsible for her getting kicked out, but then she regrets not telling anyone the whole truth of what is going on. She decides that she's going to heal the gates and then come clean. Sure.
I hear a lot of heal the gates, but I'm not seeing a lot of heal the gates.
No. Mm-mm.
Mercy, meanwhile, is preparing for Emily's dad's ritual and talking to Xena about Kirk. They talk about whether Hunter really did break Kirk's fingers, but surely if she did, she had a reason? Xena asks Mercy if she told Hunter that Kirk accosted her, but no, she didn't, because she's too proud and she gets pissy about literally everything. Xena's worried about the twins not getting along, which again makes Mercy pissy. Everything makes Mercy pissy. She's just a pissy person.
Everything.
Rage. Mercy lets Xena know that she'll be spending the weekend with Emily after the ritual. Xena is of course okay with this because she's wonderful, and she plans to use her alone time to hunt and eat birds. Which is, again, wonderful.
I love her. I love her so much. Mercy meets up with Emily to perform the ritual and explains about what Kirk did the night before. They also talk about Hunter, and then, shocking to Mercy, Hunter shows up. Emily is excited to see her friend and welcomes her to the circle, but Mercy is awful to her and won't even let her get out a full sentence. Hunter tries to tell her friend and her sister what has been happening to her, but Mercy's too self-absorbed to let her speak, so Hunter leaves. Mercy and Emily complete the ritual. Then Emily suggests that Mercy should go after Hunter, which of course makes Mercy angry. Back at the house, Xena suggests the same thing, which makes Mercy even angrier. She decides that she's not going to spend the weekend with Emily, and she's not going to stay in with Xena either. She leaves without telling anyone where she's going.
Smart. She's
Surely
full of smarts.
It's gonna be fine.
Mercy drives to the Egyptian gate to see Kenty, but when she gets there, she notices that the tree and the ground surrounding it are even worse than before. Then she sees a bizarre fistfight between two friends playing tennis. It's weird, but she shrugs it off as bros being bros. She's excited when she sees Kenty appear, and things get even better when Kenty tells her that the goddess Hathor granted Mercy a boon, allowing Mercy to visit the Egyptian underworld without dying.
Ooh.
Yay. Mercy still doesn't tell anyone where she's going and steps through the gate and into Kenty's world. Hathor's blessing appears as a beautiful turquoise gown, an intricate henna tattoo on Mercy's chest, showing Hathor's symbol, horns and a sun. Kenty leaves his spear at the gate, and together they explore the palace.
Back in Goodyville, Kirk, released from his hold with the police, goes to a football booster club barbecue. Menacing thoughts flow through his mind as he puts on an anything for the team act with his fellow football bros and the coach. The coach wants Kirk off the team until he completes anger management, but we all know that's not gonna happen.
Nope.
Kirk overhears several football moms talking about how he chased Hunter into the bathroom, but then others say that Hunter worships Satan and was covered in blood and got kicked out of her apartment. The town is clearly obsessed with teenage gossip. Kirk finds Jax's mom and talks to her, telling her he believes everything she says about Hunter worshipping the devil. This is probably not going to be good.
No.
Mobs. Pitchforks.
Meanwhile, in the Egyptian underworld, Kenty and Mercy are heading to a festival. As they walk, Kenty tells Mercy that Egypt is based on this underworld that they are in. Whatever is here is also there, but not quite as perfect or nice. Things click for Mercy then when she realises that when things happen in the underworld, they happen in Goodyville too. So all the bad things that are seeping out and happening in her town are because of the gates. Things are going well for the two until Kenty's father, Upawand, shows up. He is terrible and punishes Kenty for being away from his post, but then Mercy hexes him to get him back. Whatever harm he dispenses will be returned to him ×3. Unfortunately, Upawand banishes them from the peaceful underworld to Duat, Egyptian hell.
Yikes.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
But I'm on vacay. I can't go to Duat.
Kylie has taken Hunter in, and they're having a sleepover. Kylie and Jax kind of confront Hunter about the rumors that they've heard about Kirk and the bloody apartment. They don't really talk about it much because they assume that their friend is telling the truth and that Jax's mom is obsessed with the devil.
I think that's not untrue.
No, it's not. At school the next day, Hunter is worried because Mercy is absent. Mercy never misses school. When school gets out, Hunter stops by her locker and finds a naked Barbie inside, surrounded by construction paper, fire, and a message. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. And you're next. Oh, freaking great.
Nice.
When Hunter leaves school, Amphitrite shows up and threatens to kill a random passerby unless Hunter goes to the Japanese gate at the cherry tree. Could things possibly get any worse?
Well, now that you ask. Mercy and Kenty are stumbling through the desert of Duat. Kenty says they need to find Anubis to reverse Mercy's banishment, but doesn't say anything about his own. All he wants to do is get Mercy to safety. Aww.
He's so good.
Luckily, Anubis appears to them, but unluckily, he's unable to reverse the banishment and tells them the only way to escape is to die. He goes on to say that he cannot help them leave, but he will not force them to stay.
Hunter goes back home after school, hoping to meet up with Mercy, who is obviously not home, but instead of knowing she's stuck in Duat, Hunter thinks Mercy is gallivanting around and partying. Why do they always think the other one is partying?
I mean, to be fair, I can understand Hunter thinking that Mercy's partying.
Yeah. Hunter goes inside and is nearly attacked by Xena, which is hilarious. Her tail puffs. She leaps down off the couch with her claws out. It's really good.
She's in cat form. She's in cat clarification. She's in cat
No,
form.
she's not. She's in people form.
Is she?
I mean, I say that her tail puffs. That's just what I say when I get startled. Like, I personally say that my own tail puffs when I get scared. So, yeah. No, she jumps off the arm of the couch in people form with her claws out.
But not a literal tail, thank you.
Not a literal tail. She does not.
Yes.
She does not have a tail.
Yes.
If she were in cat form, her tail would be puffed.
Yes, thank you.
But she's in people form.
Oh.
Xena tells Hunter that she hasn't seen Mercy and is worried about her because she can no longer feel her. Hunter's not worried about her because why would she be? She's off being selfish as always. So she grabs her tarot cards and tells Xena that she's going to fix the gates. Xena hisses, literally hisses at her, that something is wrong, but Hunter is adamant about fixing the gates before worrying about anything else.
Back in Duat, Mercy decides she's going to use her connection to Xena to contact her, but there's nothing green or glowing around her, so she has trouble connecting. She and Kenty decide to find some shelter and try again to connect to Xena. Then a giant sandstorm rolls in and they are chased by terrifying zombie baboons. They run from the storm and from the baboons until they are met by a hooded woman who turns out to be, drumroll please, Kenty's mother, Merritt.
Ah!
She too was banished to Upwant, the jerk.
Son of a bitch.
True. She welcomes them into her home. Kenty tells Merritt everything that's happened and how Mercy wants to try to connect with Xena and Hunter, but her green witch powers need green things to work well. Luckily, Merritt has a lovely garden full of vegetables that Mercy can use to channel her power. She reaches out to Hunter and to Xena and is able to reach them. But then the zombie baboons find them.
Oh
zombie
no.
Baboons.
Zombies, womp womp.
Ooh.
Hunter makes it to the cherry tree in Amphitrite, all the while setting her intention to close the gates. Hunter turns to a page labeled Realms in her blood book. Amphitrite calls to the stream flowing behind the cherry tree, and water begins to swell, but then pulls the dead leaves and worms that are always around the gates down into the earth, leaving a pentagram behind. Hunter starts the spell, but Amphitrite tells her she's doing it incorrectly, which makes Hunter realize that Amphitrite has known how to do this spell all along. Amphitrite says she won't do anything for free and basically threatens to kill Hunter. But then Hunter uses blood and the power of the ley lines running under Goodyville and banishes Amphitrite. Evil goddess gone, Hunter turns back to the gate and chants the Realms spell, all the while thinking, close the gate, close the gate. A wild and evil unkindness of ravens swirls around her, and Hunter reaches out to the cosmos, to the true source of her strength, and completes her spell. The ravens explode with the power that bursts from her fingers like lightning. She looks up to see the leaves of the cherry tree sparkling with new green growth. But then she feels a terrible pain in her head and hears a message from Mercy about being trapped in Duat. Hunter puts on her pendant from Tyr, now glowing with his power, and, with her cosmic powers restored, she sets off to save Mercy.
Amphitrite has been watching Hunter as she completes her spell and leaves to find Mercy. She stops by the tree and releases a giant bubble of water magic that rips a hole in the tree and the gate beyond.
Oh no.
Sometime later, New Honor, a serpent woman from the Japanese underworld, slithers from the hole in the tree. Her skin begins to turn grey like Mercy's did when she entered the Egyptian underworld, and she realises she must feed on someone quickly or she will die. She makes a bundle materialise in her arms, wrapped in swaddling clothes, then slithers to the edge of Goody Lake and begins to wail. One of the football moms rushes over to help her, but regrets her decision when No Honor slashes her throat and begins to drink her blood.
Oh no.
Womp womp.
Oh, and that's the end.
The
Oh.
end. Cliffhanger.
Fictional cliff hangover.
Fictional cliffhangers.
Oh man.
And on that pleasant note, let's take a break.
Yes, let's.
Hi there, I'm Volley, one of the hosts of the Reading Queens podcast. If you love books, fandom discussions, and having a good time, join your new internet friends as we take on such topics and more. Hosted by a group of published authors, Reading Queens is a podcast for every book lover. Every week, we get together to blab about our favorite books, why we love them, and the book boyfriends we wish were real. You can find the episodes on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and other platforms, with a new episode launching every Wednesday. Thanks. Now back to the show.
Only 7 womp-womps?
Only 7.
I feel a little disappointed in us.
It's okay. That's still a lot of womp-womps for one book.
There probably would have been more moments, other moments. But you've got to put them in when it's right.
You really do. You really, really do.
Right. Can we get our rage table out first?
As long as Mercy is on it, and when I flip the rage table, like, she gets stabbed with all the cutlery that's on the table.
Well, it's a double date rage table. On one side, we have Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side, we have Kirk.
Okay.
And in the middle, we have candles.
Can Upawant be there too?
Yeah, we can put Upawant in there. I mean,
okay.
Why the heck not? But there's candles. And those
Okay.
candles will explode and send burning wax, hot wax, and flames all over them. And then they will immolate.
Do you know what you sounded like when you were struggling to say all of those words about the candles and the flames and the burning and
flames.
Rage.
Our favourite meme, yes. Yeah. It's that. It is basically that.
Yeah.
Like, in the grand scheme of those three pissing me off, Upawant, I was the least.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a god.
He's a demigod.
He's a
demigod. Egyptian demigod. He is freaking ancient, and I expect that kind of behaviour. It's not acceptable, okay? Just because the behaviour is expected, it's not acceptable.
Right.
But you can see it coming a mile off.
Yeah.
Whereas Mercy and Kirk, we'll start with Mercy, one of the lead characters. I think I listened to 3 minutes of the audiobook and sent you a text message, and it said, Mercy is pissing me off already.
Yes.
And your response was, ha 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 ha, I told you she would.
Yep. Sounds about right. Sounds accurate. She's the worst. She is the worst. I don't understand why she's so terrible unless it's because she's negatively affected by the gates.
She does surmise that. That is one of her, when she realizes...
Yeah, but she doesn't say it about herself.
No.
She just talks about how everyone else in town is terrible because of the gates. But seriously, she is awful.
Aphrodite in the House of Night series was so self-centered and self-serving until, she had the bitch slap awakening.
Mm-hmm.
But she's nothing like Mercy.
No.
I have no sympathy for Mercy. I don't care what happens to Mercy.
Nope.
as a character. If she stayed in Duat, fine, whatever. Kenty, she's not worth it, mate.
No.
She's toxic.
No. I'd be worried, or I'd be more upset if Kenty didn't get out, even though Kenty's like, no, it's okay. This is like where I'm supposed to be for right now, and it's fine. It's not great, but it's fine.
His mom, which is nice.
His mom's there, which he hasn't seen in a long time because, she's dead. But she wasn't technically dead. She was just banished to Duat by Upawant. Jerk. But yeah, I feel more upset for Kenty than I do for Mercy. I don't care about Mercy. She's awful.
Yeah. Her chapters were a struggle. When I don't sympathise with the character at all, I really struggle to pay attention to them, and I probably had to re-listen to her chapters a couple of times just because I phased out. I thought, I just didn't care enough that I went and started doing something else that completely drew my attention away, and then suddenly went, hang on, I'm listening to an audiobook. I need to dial back a chapter.
Do you know what my favourite parts of the Mercy chapters were? Xena.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenty.
Mm-hmm.
Because Xena was in almost all of Mercy's chapters. And I'm glad because we needed that. I don't care about Mercy at all. But the fact that Xena is involved with her got me through the Mercy chapters.
Yes. Do you know when she's talking to her goddess Freya? And Freya's like, oh, I've given you a present. I'm not going to help you. There's going to be omens. You got to sort it out yourself, love. It's a learning curve. Yeah. You're 16. You need to learn this stuff. But I'm going to give you a present. It's like, ooh, presents. I want presents. And then she finds out that Xena's been made a familiar. I screamed. I literally went, what the fuck?
I
Xena,
know.
you do not deserve to be latched onto Mercy until your death. That is awful. That's the worst thing. Poor Xena.
No.
Honestly, I raged. I think I actually had to stop the audiobook and just go,
I know. I got like a selfish, bratty teenager going, that's not fair. That's not fair. Like, don't give her to Mercy. Mercy's awful. But also, I guess Mercy needs 1,000 times more help than Hunter does. Hunter can do everything on her own, which she shouldn't have to, but she can. And I don't think Mercy can. Mercy's not ready to do anything by herself. She's too self-absorbed.
She's so immature. It's just, yeah. I absolutely hated that she doesn't respect her sister enough to let her sister mourn their mother in her own way. That she has to conform to her, what she wants to do.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that she never let Hunter finish a sentence.
Mm-mm.
That everything was the expectation of what would make her life easier, make her happier, and met her needs. And that she constantly mourned about needing and wanting this connection with her sister and not feeling whole without it. And that she wants to talk to her. And then when finally Hunter does come to talk to her, and it's some serious stuff she's got involved in.
Yeah.
That she just won't even entertain her. It's not even that she wouldn't let her finish a sentence. In some of it, she wouldn't even let her finish a word. And it's just, what? And finally, when Xena told her off and said, you've been wanting all this, you finally know that Hunter is not one to share. And she finally comes to you and is asking for help, and you reject her? You reject your sister, your twin?
Yeah.
I was shaking with anger at one point because I just do not like the Mercy character. She's so ill-named as well. There is no mercy in her.
No. I really liked that scene that you were talking about where Xena is finally like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know I love you. You know I'm here for you. But what the hell are you doing right now? And also that Emily did that. Emily
Yes.
tried multiple times, too, to be like, don't you think you should try to talk to Hunter? Don't you think you should check on Hunter? Don't you think you should let Hunter finish one sentence? And she's like, no, I can't do it. No, she's terrible. And I wish that she would stay in Duat. She can just die down there.
God, yeah. That's one of the things that PC cast and Kristen cast do very well are the friends.
Yes.
The friends of the main character.
Yes.
Or the found family of the main character.
Yes.
They really flesh those, as much as they might not be in as much as there might not be the character development or arcs, they are fleshed out, and they are the better characters of the piece.
Yeah.
They really know how to do those, and the fact that Emily steps up and calls Mercy out on her bullshit, and Xena especially, and Xena tried to do it on multiple occasions. Like you could tell that she was trying to do it, but trying to get Mercy to come up with it herself.
Yes. Yeah.
And then eventually she has to go, no,
you've made a mistake, and I'm disappointed in you.
yeah.
And then she just gets mad again. She doesn't feel any emotions other than anger. Like, you're familiar.
It's anger and self-love, and that's all she knows.
I know. Makes me so disappointed. But I love Hunter.
I like Hunter a lot.
Yeah. Hunter.
I have time for her chapters.
Yeah, I enjoyed listening to Hunter's chapters because, yeah, they're kind of in the same boat. They both want to close these gates, but Hunter's actively doing something about it. She's not necessarily doing the right thing.
No, but that's where Mercy, if Mercy was a better person, would have said, no, this is not the path I think we should follow. But we established in the first one how Mercy is not a nice person because she tells her sister to give up her god. That it's her god that's the problem. That's her that's causing the issues. Or she puts all the blame, all the onus on Hunter from book one, and she maintains it all the way through. Even in this one where she's kind of like, maybe I misinterpreted that poem, that prophecy wrong.
Yeah,
maybe. But she doesn't actually say, yeah, I've done bad and I'm sorry.
No, I don't know what it's going to take to get her to apologize.
Yeah. But you're right. Hunter is a good character because whereas Mercy's like, I'm going to go and perform the same spell over and over and over and over again and get the same results, which is what the definition of madness.
Yes.
Hunter hits the books.
Yes. Do you know one of my favorite parts was when Hunter got her phenomenal cosmic powers?
Anybody garage apartment.
Yes. I really enjoyed that because she's finally, she's still using blood magic, which is not great, but it's getting shit done. And then, she realizes that, she finds her pendant to Tyr, which she thought she lost at the end of book 1, and she finds it. And then at the end, when she channels the cosmic powers, her pendant is glowing again, and it's shiny and sparkly. And so, hey, Tyr's there. He might not have appeared to you, but he's still there.
Well, that's it. I mean, Freya's like, I'm not going to come every time you call. Xena warns Mercy as well.
Yeah, she's probably not going to come and see you, but she's, she'll give you signs.
Yeah.
She'll give you omens, and then they, but omens bite. I like it when that happens.
I wonder how much Amphitrite was blocking Tyr.
She could have been. She could have completely been doing that.
I wouldn't be surprised if she was running interference and trying to take Hunter for herself. And
yeah, because Amphitrite is seriously up to something. I was really worried at the end when she was doing, when she called up her river and then made the pentagram appear, and then Hunter was doing the spell, and she's like, no, you're doing it wrong. I was thinking, not the fact that, well, it's obvious that she's done this spell before, so she could have told her how to do it immediately, but I was thinking she was telling her that she's doing it wrong and trying to convince her to do some other sort of spell.
Yes, I thought the same.
Like, she's getting her to open the gate instead of close the gate, which is kind of what happens. I mean, Amphitrite bubble burns a hole through the gate so Neriona can come out, but I don't know. I thought it was going to be more twisted than it was at the end.
Yeah, like, it made me try and remember how she worded her offers of help. I can help you with the gate, not I can help you close the gate.
Yeah.
How specific was she? And I honestly couldn't remember. But I was expecting that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like Amphitrite though. I mean, of course I do, because she's a bad guy and I like the bad guys. But I mean, she's a sea witch.
Yeah.
She is a sea hag, and we know how much I like a sea hag.
Yes, I very much enjoyed it. Again, another thing that PC cast and Kristen cast do very well. They do very good female bad guys, villains, female villains.
Yes, like female villains that you love to hate. And they also do really good douchey football bros that you just want to set on fire.
I remember I was having this conversation, probably got a little too impassioned with the husband. Take that how you want. About the first one, and I was like, he just turned on a dime. I distinctly remember the conversation with Amanda where we're like, Kirk was all fine and dandy, and then all of a sudden, he's a jerk. Why? What the heck happened? And having to re-listen to that chapter again, and he just explodes in this one. Disgusted.
Yeah,
horrified.
He's terrible.
I hate him so much. I did not want, nor did not need, his point of view.
No, it just made me so angry. He's the worst.
The rage table exploded in knives and sharp things.
And flaming candles.
Flaming candles burning. Just... I mean, the systematic abuse being taught in his family, because he's in the car with his dad. His dad is really annoyed and angry and frustrated and resentful, and points out to Kirk, when you hit them, you make sure you don't leave a mark. And I was nearly sick at that point. I was no. So obviously, Kirk's behaviour is learned behaviour.
Yes, obviously.
Terribly bad and toxic.
Yeah.
But the scenes when he's in the bathroom with Hunter, I really liked how Amphitrite came. I liked how his hand got crushed and how it was his throwing hand. Bye-bye football career.
Mm-hmm.
It felt vengeful, and I liked that.
Yes. Especially when she, just steps over him and out of the bathroom. So good.
I love a vengeful bathroom moment.
Yes.
It was sweet.
Wait. What other vengeful bathroom moments are you talking about?
I don't know. That's the one big moment, and I've decided that I need more in my life. There's got to be more vengeful bathroom moments.
There's got to be more vengeful bathroom moments.
Can it top that one? It was just sweet.
It was very good.
And the car scene with Mercy, I honestly expected the assault to go further.
I did too. I'm glad that the police officer showed up.
Yeah.
When he did.
And I'm glad the police officer believed Mercy.
Yeah.
And actually did something.
Yeah.
The picnic scene was horrible.
Yeah, it was.
When he's like, And the coach is, you need anger management problems. He's fisting his hand in his pocket. He's like, I'm not going to anger management. I don't have anger management. You've just made a fist. You're getting angry now.
Yeah,
and
you're angry literally right this moment.
I'm going to go with the roids, and I'm going to beef up, and I'm going to become a quarterback. No, linebacker. I don't know.
I don't know football.
I don't know English football, never mind American.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, horrible.
And he's hopped up on pills and drinking and stuff all the time. Like, we know that he's negatively impacted by the gates, but like, how much worse can he get?
I put it to you, Amanda. I put it to you that all the gates are doing are turning the dial up on people's
they're definitely
behavior.
It's definitely amplifying. It's not changing anybody. It's amplifying what's already there.
It's like, it's drunk behaviour. It brings out the worst in people.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening. It's a drunk behaviour without the alcohol. He was a disgusting person, and he's even more of a disgusting person.
Yeah.
And I need more vengeful bathroom scenes where he gets
you need more vengeful bathroom scenes. You know, I wish that there had been more of Jax, because I really enjoyed Jax in book 1. I wish that there had been more Jax. Minus Kylie. I don't care about Kylie. I wish that Kylie and Hunter would have become a thing. But I don't need Kylie. I need more Jax. Yes. I liked Jax. I feel like Jax, aside from Xena, was probably my favorite character from the first book. But, you know, he's barely in this one.
He wasn't in the first one much either. Emily wasn't either. And that was one of our things that we wanted more of the friends to step up and be in a bit more present. Emily has been.
Right. And Jax, there was a really good chapter in the first book where they, like, go to a plant store or something, and they're, like, having to hide under a table, and silly shenanigans and things are happening, and that was so fun.
Yeah.
I wish there was more Jax.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wish that there had been more Xena, because they weren't at home. They weren't at home this time, so there was not a whole lot of Xena. Although Xena at the funeral scene, wearing human clothes, was so good.
The negotiation about if she wears a bra, she gets to strut around everywhere naked later on.
Yes.
Whichever skin she wants to wear.
You have to be here right now, fully clothed, wearing shoes, but when we get home, you can do whatever you want. You can be naked as a cat, you can be naked as a person, but right now, in public at a funeral, you have to wear clothes. And she's like, really? Do I? And then she licks her hand and rubs someone's hair the right way.
Oh, poor Emily, who's already allergic to cats and has Xena literally pouring at her and then, like, licking her and stuff, and she's like, this is awkward.
Do you know what I like about Emily, though? That she comes prepared with her Claritin or her allergy medication or whatever it is. She's like, no, it's okay. I like it when you know, as a cat, sit in my lap. I like it when you, as a person, give me hugs. So I'm preparing myself because I like you. I'm taking my medication so I won't sneeze in your face.
Emily is probably one of my favourite characters, actually.
Emily is very good. I wish that the crossover we tried to create with this and House of Night were to come true. And I wish...
I know PC said that's not true, but in my head it's canon, okay?
It is. She's like, no, guys... This Emily is a beautiful black girl, and the Emily in the other one is not black. And we're like, so? It doesn't matter what Emily looks like. It's the same person. Where's Lynette?
Book 3.
Lynette's going to show up in book 3.
Oh, I hope there's a character called... Even if it's just like the coffee... baristas called Lynette. It's like, oh, it's Lynette.
I know, that would be
Just make
You
the
know-
entire fan base, like, go crazy with
But she
conspiracy theories.
already told us no, and I don't care.
No, exactly. It's like, that's fine. But as an author, you have now relinquished control of your book because it's in the public. Now we get to write our fan fiction.
Yes, so we're gonna make them join. We're gonna make them ask for help from Zoe and the rest of the nerd herd.
Minus Jack. Can't abide Jack.
No, we don't need Jack. We just need Zoe and Stevie Ray and Aphrodite and Shawnee and Damien.
Yeah.
Who's missing? Someone's missing.
Stark?
No, I don't care about Stark. I just want the like casting a circle crew. Who am I missing? Because it was Aaron. Aaron did water, and then Aaron turned into a slut.
Oh, she was
The girl with ice cream shoes.
Uh-huh.
Ice cream shoes. I can't think of her real name, but she became the water person.
Was she the one who was blind as well?
Shaylin?
Shaylin
No, I
was-
think Shaylin
Oh, no,
stood in for a
Shaylin's-
little while.
Shaylin's gone off to a different house of night.
Yeah, Shaylin's doing something else, but it's ice cream shoes, and she dies in the swimming pool.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one.
It's a shame because she was the champion swimmer, and then she drowned,
That's
which
just
was terrible.
embarrassing.
I know, and I'm sad that I can't think of her name, except for that her name is Ice Cream Shoes, because
But
that's
does
what
that mean
Aphrodite calls
everybody
her.
now has to go and hide in a small town in, is it Montana or
Oklahoma,
Oklahoma? Yeah, small town Oklahoma, because they've got secrets. And then be
maybe.
terrorized by a serial killer?
No,
Or just Jack?
Just Jack. Let's have Jack get murdered by a cyclops, or let's dump Jack in Duat with the
Yes!
zombie baboons.
Yes!
Done.
Canon.
What else do we need to talk about? Because now
Oh.
we're crossing into House of Night. What is happening?
Can I complain about 2 more things about Mercy, please?
Yes.
No one calls going to the Egyptian underworld a vacay. You are not a valley girl. This is not Clueless. Stop it. And what's with all the bloodies, buggerings and soddings?
Remember?
Yes. I've
And
forgotten.
they already yelled at her in book 1, saying, "Oh my God, you're not British. Stop it!" And she's like, "I don't care. Bloody hell, I don't care." She should have gone on holiday in Duat if that is what we're going for here. She should have gone on holiday, not on vacay.
As a Brit, pain. I
Yes,
feel
as a
pain.
non-Brit, pain. This is not. You're not British. You don't have a British BFF who will laugh at you when you say things. You can't just do it. You can't just talk like that without being surrounded by anyone else, because no one knows what you're talking about and everyone thinks that you sound stupid. Stop it.
Stop it. Just stop it.
Stop it.
Why did Xena have to watch Love Island? I'm so
You let
disappointed in her.
Xena do whatever she wants.
She can do whatever she wants. but at
Xena
the
is
same
perfection.
time, I'm still a little disappointed that she watches Love Island.
She can do whatever she wants. I don't care.
And it's the British one as well, which I feel like is a shoehorn to try and explain why Mercy uses British slang. And
I
it's
just
weak.
think that she thinks that she's wanting to sound cool or unique or
She
whatever.
She thinks she's smart.
I
Because
don't
she
know.
says bloody buggering and sodding.
I don't know. It's terrible. It's
You
terrible,
know
and I
what?
hate it.
She
And so
can
does
sod
everyone
off.
else. She can sod off. Yes.
Wanker.
I really just appreciate, still from the first one, where everyone's like, "You're not British. Stop it.
Stop it, Mercy. Stop it.
Stop it."
Cease and desist.
Anything else? Anything else we need to talk about?
No, I feel like a lot of it's just, again, going back to the bloody buggering sodding, it's reiterating things that we talked about in the first one. I really appreciate the variation of mythologies that's used. Really nicely done. Well done. Xena, amazing. Again.
Yes.
And having really good, strong found family. And
yes.
And the strong female villain.
Yes.
I
love all of those things. Yes, I love all of those things. And as much as I despised Mercy in this one, it made me like Hunter even more, and I'm proud of Hunter for doing all of the hard work that she did, but I kind of just want her to like leave Mercy in the underworld.
Oh god, yeah. I'm with you. I am completely
just
with
leave
you.
her. Just leave her down there, and you can save the world by yourself. And I think that will be a great book 3.
Mercy's full of hollow promises and false hope, whereas Hunter is let's freaking do this, and now she's got Tear back on her side.
Yes.
Honestly, when she had to swear herself to Amphitrite to save that man from drowning, oh my god, I was like, no, just let him drown, don't do it, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. But she had to do the right thing, and I get that, I totally get that, but like, I felt really bad for her.
Yeah, I also felt bad for her, but I really liked when Amphitrite like turned people into spheres of water and they exploded in a puddle, and then they just rolled down into the drain.
She has style and panache.
Yes, I love Amphitrite.
She knows showmanship.
She does. She does.
I appreciate that a lot.
Yes. Were you surprised by anything? I guess we should probably talk about surprises. I feel like that's the last thing we have to talk about.
How much I was raging and had to actually physically stop listening to then rage more. That probably doesn't come as too much of a surprise. I would say Kirk's jerkhood ramping up even more.
Yeah.
Kirk, I'll tell you what surprised me the most. Kirk's arts and crafts ability with a broken hand.
Yes. And where did he get that Barbie?
Yes. It's obviously from his own collection.
Well, how did he pick which one to melt their feet?
I can imagine he's probably got a least favourite. It might be a knockoff, it might be a Cindy.
Yeah. It's a Barbie that he found at the dollar store.
Yeah.
He didn't want to ruin one of his good Barbies. Mm-hmm. One of the collectors in the ball gowns. He did not want to do that.
Take it from a person who has sacrificed plushies for the sake of art. And very recently as well. You don't want to use one of your own. You go to the thrift shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I was very surprised by his arts and crafts ability.
Yeah. I mean, it's, how do you use scissors? Because it was his good hand that was crushed. It was like his right hand or whatever.
Mm.
How did he use scissors with his left hand to cut out the flames? Do you think he just tore the construction paper?
Possibly. I mean, it would probably give a bit more of a fire effect, that kind of rough, natural, fearsome, earthy feel than using scissors. Yeah. I mean, the other option, which is much more mundane and very boring, so I don't really want to go there too much, is that it was Jax's very Christian mom who believes Hunter is a Satanist did it. Which then calls into question, did she help out too much with Jax's art projects in the past? Yeah, and also, why is she hanging out with Jax? That's inappropriate. Oh, was it Jax's mom? Jax's mom is the... Yeah. Yeah, well, Kirk... Why is she hanging out with Kirk? It's inappropriate. Because Jax and Kirk aren't friends. No, but didn't Kirk go to talk to her on the pier? Yeah, she did.
I mean, yeah, he
so
did.
I think they bonded over.
But what I'm
their
saying here
mistake.
is it is inappropriate for a middle-aged woman to hang out with a teenage boy playing with Barbies.
When you say it exactly like that, wow.
Not appropriate.
Wow. I'm trying to decide if he went to, like, her
Did
house
he go to
and
her
did it at the
house?
dining room table. Did they go to, like, the library or a community centre?
Because she couldn't have gone to his house because his dad wouldn't have
No. Did she
handled
meet
him
him
playing
at
with
school?
Barbies. I don't know. Can I tell you?
Where do you play with Barbies?
Can I tell you that I myself, as a middle-aged woman, have played with Barbies with teenage boys in the public library?
I mean, it's probably
As
more
part of my
work-related.
job, it was
Yeah.
it was a good time. We made zombie Barbies, and it was a good time. And the boys liked it so much.
I once
It was a good time.
sacrificed one of my Barbies to turn it into a zombie kind of undead creature that I
Yeah.
hung from my waist by a noose belt for a Halloween party
Reasonable.
where I went
That's
as a
good.
witch.
That's good. I like that. Did you have construction paper flames?
No, I was
Because your hand was
green.
crushed? You were
Hmm.
green?
I was green,
Hmm.
and I got an old dress and ragged it up and tore it. And back then, my hair was like the curliest of curly, and it was almost triangular, and I greened
made
that up as well.
Good.
There's
Sounds good.
pictures somewhere. It's terrible.
I feel like I need to find one. I can share some zombie Barbie pictures. Those still exist somewhere.
I think I was like 16.
Mm.
So appropriate age for the book, really.
Yeah, really. I don't think I've shared what my surprise is.
Go for it.
Nuri Ona coming out at the end.
Ooh.
I was so excited about that because I like, you said it like an hour ago, talking about the different mythologies that are in this story, and I really like that. I like the mythologies being mixed up and, you know, getting just a little bit of each one. And I was really excited that they went to the Japanese gate next.
Yes.
Because there are some really cool monsters in Japanese mythology, and I hope that we see more of them.
I agree.
And I kind of hope that there's like a badass Japanese gate guardian who is female, and Hunter gets to go on a date with a Japanese badass gate guardian.
She has blackened teeth. She was jilted at the altar, but she's looking and ready for
She's
love
looking
again.
for love. And, you know, she doesn't have eyes, but she makes up for it in other ways.
She's very attentive. She has her own place.
She does.
Mm-hmm.
There may or may not be bodies in the walls.
May or may not be Oni dropping around everywhere, but you know.
You know, and the wallpaper may or not shift around behind you in the background and laugh at you while you're not looking.
But we call those character features.
Yes. Wouldn't that be great?
I hope that happens. I really hope that happens.
That will be really fun. What do you think's gonna? What do you really think is gonna happen in book 3? I mean, obviously, because it's just a trilogy. This is going to be the end. Obviously, they're going to fix the gates.
They're gonna have to replant a tree or two, I think.
Do you think that they're
Well,
going
firstly, we're gonna have to. Well, firstly, let's think methodically.
Okay.
Xena and or Hunter, more specifically Hunter, are going to get Mercy out of Duarte.
Yes.
We're going to have a lot of whinging and whining and butting of heads.
I think Hunter's finally going to stand up for herself.
Yes.
And say, you have got to stop being terrible.
Yes. Sometimes a bitch has just got to be slapped.
Yes.
There's going to be reconciliation.
There will be.
There was a lot of play up in this particular book, in book 2, about Mercy's powers to be able to make things like flourish quickly and grow quickly.
Yeah, she's growing a tree.
She's growing
at least
tree.
One.
Yeah, she's growing at least one tree. There's got to be a stage where you're like, we cannot bring this back to life unless we create a zombie tree, and that's a whole other trilogy.
Yeah.
Of zombie tree attack, which I'm for.
Which would be
that
good.
That might be some fanfic.
Yeah, I would read that.
Yeah, that's our fanfic for the week then. But yeah, Mercy's definitely going to plant and grow a new tree.
Do you think that Kenty is going to also come out and into this world? Because he's not the guardian anymore. Upawant has relieved him of his duties. Do you think he's gonna come into Goodyville?
Is his goddess was it Hathor?
I'm not sure if that is his chosen goddess, but he did
love
and respect Hathor.
I think there's a very good chance Kenty will be asked, now you're alive, do you want to go back to the mortal realm and not live in any of the underworlds? I think there's a very strong possibility. I'm concerned about Jax and Hunter's relationship, that Jax is going to find out that Hunter kind of didn't perform a love spell, because that's stupid, but, you know, made Kylie see the potential in their relationship more clearly and be a bit resentful over that.
But hopefully, Kylie seems to be a good person. She's taking care of Hunter on multiple occasions, so maybe it'll be okay.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's not that she's changed a person. She hasn't.
No.
She's not manipulated their personality or their attitudes or anything like that. She's just kind of let them be a bit more relaxed about the possibility of the relationship they were thinking about.
Yeah, and she's helped them realize that they both do like each other.
I think the spell needs to be defined as, like, you know, passing the note spell. You know, it's when your best friend passes a note to the person that you like, and it says, if you ask Amanda out, so this is me passing the note to Jacob, and saying, if you ask Amanda out, she will say yes. Yes. And then that's, you know, the green light for Jacob to go, Amanda, you go after me. And you're like, yeah! So it's a passing the note spell. Rather than any, it's
not any sort of enhancement, it's not any sort of manipulation.
Yes. Yeah. And then you two can kiss and have cats. Yes. So that's that's how I'm saying it. And I'm hoping it doesn't come between them. I think there might be a bit of a...
There might be a little bit of a tiff.
Yeah.
But it'll all be worked out. Because we can't have this core group of friends being torn apart. They're definitely going to come back together, and everyone is going to realize that they've been shitty to each other, and they're going to be their found family, and it's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think with it being a trilogy as well, and we're coming up to the last one, if there was going to be any strife in that camp, it probably would have started now. There would have been the seeds planted, because we can't deal with, essentially, the final battle with the big bad, the build up to this battle with the big bad, and this petty bullshit.
No. I feel like it's going to be like an intervention almost, with everyone against Mercy saying, what is wrong with you? Stop it. And she'll be like, what are you talking about? And then she'll go, yeah, you're probably right. And then she'll apologize to everyone, and then they'll all work together, and great things will happen.
Yeah.
and Xena will be there, and Hunter will also be gifted the ability to talk to Xena in cat form.
I wonder if she already has it, but she doesn't know because she hasn't been
around. Yeah, it's possible.
But yeah, that's going to have to happen because Xena cannot be, in my humble opinion, the familiar to one of the twins and not the other.
It's not fair.
Especially Mercy.
No. I got really worried, which I know that PC Cast will not harm a hair on Xena's beautiful head, cat or person, but I got really worried when Kirk was like, I'm gonna go and get their cat. Which would be hilarious because Xena would be like, and she would scratch him up and bite him and, break his neck and bring him around.
Oh, he would definitely come off the worst. And
he
would be in a padded cell with a lovely, fashionable straitjacket on.
Yes, because who in their right mind is going to believe that the tiny, well, not tiny because she's a Maine Coon, the beautiful, fluffy, gorgeous cat turned into a beautiful, glorious, naked woman and beat the shit out of a teenager?
With her bosoms flying everywhere.
With her bosoms. She would strangle him with her bosoms.
It's possible.
And scratch his eyes out with her beautiful fingernails.
Yes. Nobody, on top of that, screaming witchcraft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Kirk is going to end up in one of the underworlds?
I hope so. I hope that he gets Nurioned.
Yes, I'm happy for any of the beasties that come out of the underworld to get him. I'm very happy for it. But I want it to be gloriously violent and vicious and horrible for him. I want him to scream like a little piggy.
You know what would be nice? If they, for some reason, all of the gates are open and monsters come out of all of them, and Kirk is just in the middle, and all of the monsters are like, holy crap, I gotta eat someone or I'm gonna turn gray and I'm gonna die, and so they all go and eat Kirk at the same time.
Do you know what that reminds me of?
What?
The Fear Street movie. The trilogy, when they're in the mall more specifically and all the monsters are coming around and chasing after one person.
Yeah.
Just smother him in the tasty treat of their desire and they're all like, ooh.
Yes, that is what I want to happen.
Yes,
I want him to be in the middle of the pentagram of the ley lines, and he's just there, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to burn some witches, and then all of the monsters come out and eat him.
Yes. I, unfortunately, for either Hunter or Mercy, can imagine he has one of them pinned down and in a very precarious situation, either in any direction you want to go, but it's a dangerous situation for them. And you think the bad is going to happen, the next step is going to take place, but then the monsters come.
Yes.
And the monsters.
Yeah, I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
I would be okay with that.
Because one of them's attracted to his anger and lust.
Yes. I was going to say that terribleness is happening, and then all of the monsters come out and they take Kirk away, and then the sisters are like, thank you, monsters, and then we appreciate you. Can you go back to your gates now? And then everything is happy, and they got to eat Kirk, and so they are pleased, and then they just go back to their gates, and then everything is fine.
Whilst Michael Jackson's Thriller starts playing, and then they start doing the Thriller dance back to their respective gates.
Claire, you've taken it too far.
Have I?
You have. You have taken it too far, and now it is time for us to move on because you just ruined it with Thriller.
No, well, you can either have Michael Jackson Thriller or you can have Backstreet Boys. You've got to pick one of them, but we need some iconic zombie-style dancing action in the background.
Clearly, you have to go with Thriller.
So
there's no. Yeah. But yeah, you've taken it too far, and now we need to move on, and now we need to play Would You Rather.
Would
Coral.
you rather
Yay,
go
with
back
Coral!
to your underworld to the tune of Thriller or Backstreet Boys?
Save it for next time. Claire.
Amanda.
Is it time?
It is time. It is time. It is overtime. It's overdue.
Yes. And as we said at the top of the episode, we're very excited because we're joined by superfan Coral.
Yay!
Finally!
At last!
Finally!
At last! Like, literally, planets have had to align. We've had to make offerings to several deities of dubious nature.
We have. Yes. I mean, I'm not going to say that I asked Amphitrite for help, but I did.
But you're not,
and I do not regret it. I do not regret it. Let me love my villains.
She is from the sea, and so kind of lines that way.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Perfect.
Is that why she house washed the blood out? Because salt water's really good to get blood out of things.
Yeah, and, you know, everything around her is bloody all the time, so she's got to be good at getting the blood out of things.
Whoa, I feel like I've had a weird revelation.
You have. She is the goddess of laundry.
Stain removal.
We're giving her a lame thing to claim power over.
Every deity has to have at least one lame thing where you go, really? Okay, you do you.
Oh, okay.
It's with salt water,
well,
so I don't know if I want her to do my laundry with salt water.
To get the blood stains out, you do.
Oh, okay. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be helpful.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Bring on the laundry.
Oh my gosh.
Strangely, none of the questions are about, you know, how do you want to get blood stains out? Conventional methods or salt water from a deity. What we do have is the social media Would You Rather, which is, would you rather encounter a being from the Egyptian underworld or the Japanese underworld? And I'm going to give you statistics and tell me if you are at all shocked. On Facebook, Egypt won with 83%. On Instagram, Egyptian underworld won with 88%. On Twitter, the Egyptian underworld won with 60%. And on TikTok, you may be surprised by this, the Egyptian underworld won with 91%. Everybody is going to the Egyptian underworld, apparently.
Why?
I don't know.
It's interesting. It's very interesting. Do we want to share some comments?
Yes, this may actually explain things and also give us some tips for when we answer. So Headzilla on Twitter said, yes. Egyptian please and thank you. Egyptian beings are all animals and stuff. Japanese folklore suggests that all their underworld thingies are just straight up terrifying. Make you shit your pants. Nightmare fuel.
Okay. Bree on Facebook says, this one is tough because most underworld creatures from both cultures are super fascinating, but I like how neutral the Japanese figures are, whereas the Egyptian ones seem more like figures leading someone on a quest or test. I'd feel more at ease with something without a specific agenda in mind. For me, beyond, do I want to help or curse this random person today?
Clearly, Bree has researched.
We're not shocked by that.
No, she could cite her sources. Constance on Facebook said, Egyptian underworld for me, please. I have a feeling it would be a good place for cat lovers. Yes.
Yes, Annie on Facebook said Egyptian because everything I know I learned from watching the Mummy movies. Plus, I'm with Constance about the cats.
Socialist Republic of Sa on TikTok said, the Japanese one scares me like a lot.
Then I had some comments from the library. Egypt. I may love Asia, but Egyptian beings are just so cool.
And what another one said, Egypt, because I could win Anubis over with belly rubs and treats. Probably Bassett too.
Probably. And then finally Japanese underworld because cool tattoos.
I have no help with any of those comments.
Coral, what do you pick?
I picked the Japanese underworld. Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, like full geisha, snakes, cherry blossoms, koi. I mean, if I'm going to the Egyptian or the Japanese underworld, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm picking Japanese too, mostly because I feel like they're more terrifying, and that is my aesthetic.
Yeah.
I do not. I'm in no way surprised by that. I'm going Japanese too, more because I know the Egyptian one a bit better, and I don't. Whatever.
Yeah.
But at least with Japanese folklore, a lot of the time it seems that the creatures are only terrifying if you do something that you shouldn't be doing. They're not just going to randomly come and pounce. There's always a reason behind them. And it's...
I don't know, I feel like they're mischievous.
Yeah, kind of, I do. Well, some of them are, I suppose. And I think the Japanese one just feels better. Creepier. I like that.
I'm all about the creepy.
It'd be too hot in the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably would be hot. Hanging out in Duat.
Yeah.
I don't want to go there.
No, I don't want to go there either. That's why I'm thinking nice koi pond, and then the big old snake comes out and gets you.
Imagine the sushi as well. They'd have some amazing sushi.
And probably some good ramen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sake.
Yep. Yes. Yes.
Going where the munchies are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds good.
It's reasonable.
Yeah.
It's reasonable. All right. Next question. Would you rather break Kirk's fingers or have him arrested? I know, I hate him.
This one was so hard for me. Oh, I can't stand Kurt. I want an option C on this one. I want to break everything. Yeah, Kurt, I'm going with just breaking his fingers. But then I think, why is he not in jail anyways? He should already be in jail.
Yeah, he should be. He's the worst.
He is the worst. Ugh.
You know for a fact the excuse will be, well, boys will be boys. Or he's got a very promising career ahead of him. Let's not ruin this white boy's future.
That's why I'm glad his fingers are broken, and hopefully he's done. He gets what he does.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
And maybe the coach won't let him come back because we all know he's not taking the anger management courses.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's not going to come back. Because he's going to go to one of the underworlds. I'm sending him to one of the underworlds. The scariest, creepiest, most horrific one. Bye-bye, Kirk. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and we had planned for the end of book 3 for him to be sacrificed to all the evil things that come out of the gates.
Perfect.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
You missed that part of the conversation, Coral.
Oh.
But
well, I'm here for it. That's perfect.
Yeah, you weren't here for that, so it'll be a surprise when you go back and listen to the episode. But it got pretty gruesome.
Good. I like that.
And we're excited about it.
Good. Yeah, so we're breaking his fingers.
Yeah, I agree. Let's break his
do
fingers.
it.
Let's break fingers on both hands.
Perfect.
Let's break his toes. Yeah, let's just break his bones.
Go with arrested. But with the twist, because remember, we are the lords and masters of Would You Rather.
Yes.
So as he's getting arrested, he resists. Oh no! What happens when people resist? Brutal force by the police. The police not only break his hands, they break his arm and his will to live.
Ooh.
So he goes
and
spends the night in the police station with wounds. His hand becomes infected and festers. And because it hasn't it hasn't had medical treatment straight away, it can never heal properly. Bye-bye, career. Hello, criminal record.
Yes. I think that sounds like a good idea, too.
That's what I'm doing.
Or he resists arrest so much that he gets murdered by cop.
Oh, no!
Option C, for sure.
And as he crashes down, it also breaks his hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah,
Just get both of it. Yeah. Let's just option C
Okay.
here.
That works.
We're doing both. It's fine.
He deserves it.
He does. He's the worst.
Too spike.
Okay, next question. Would you rather be helped by a goddess who sends you omens and signs, or a goddess that appears to you in person but might also be evil? I know where Amanda's going to go with this one straight away.
There's no question. Everyone else answered this one because everyone knows what I'm picking.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking too. I mean, who wouldn't want to be helped by a goddess, evil or not? But then, I mean, yeah, omens are just so hard to decipher, pay attention to. So that would be a little hard. So I think I want help with that evil goddess.
Yeah, same. Same. Mostly just for the evil.
You're in it for the blood.
I mean, you don't get to see a goddess all the time, so yeah, I don't know. It's so hard. But I think I want to meet this evil goddess. Especially she's from the sea, and I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Omens, they can bite.
This evil goddess and learn.
Omens
from her.
can bite. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
that was going to be my
kitten.
answer. That was going to be my answer. Omens Bite. I'm going with a potentially evil goddess and learn from her, and be her apprentice. And then one day the apprentice will kill the master and take over.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yes.
me. I'm allowed to do a Star Wars reference.
You are. And also, I mean, Hunter learned a lot from Amphitrite and then banished her a couple of times.
Will it stick?
It didn't really
the first time?
stick, but
Will
it
it
kind of
stick?
did.
Will it though?
And she's got her book now. She's got her book that's full of juicy blood. So,
Yeah.
Traditionally, you're not supposed to get a book wet.
yeah, traditionally, you're not supposed to bleed on a book. But, I mean,
What's worse, bleeding on a book or dropping it in the bath?
bleeding on it because the pages are stained and you can't read the words you can't read the text anymore. You can read a
Unless-
wrinkly book.
Unless the blood drops and the stains form the omen and sign that you are then supposed to interpret.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the goddess of laundry comes and helps you get the stains out.
Exactly. Exactly.
Perfect.
Why? Oh my gosh.
Damn it, we've latched.
Okay.
So are we all going with the evil goddess?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Oh, of course.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Next question. Would you rather help Hunter or Mercy?
Easy.
What? I don't know.
Given our conversation, Amanda, can I go for anybody other than Hunter? Because
We can't.
Mercy,
We love Hunter.
rage, flames, burning. I can't stand Mercy. I'm so angry and disappointed with her. So it has to be Hunter. Hunter needs the help. Hunter would appreciate it more.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
I think
Hunter,
you're right.
I just feel like everybody right now is like against her. She's got an evil goddess. Kurt, Jax's mother. Like, that's the whole other thing right there. Like, she needs help against everything. So, yeah. I'm gonna help Hunter.
How do you feel, Coral, about the way Mercy acted in this book?
So like, I mean, she's kind of just a little selfish, maybe. I mean, Xena became her familiar, and then all of a sudden it was just like, oh, I have a guy, bye sister, like, I don't know. Yeah, she just irritated me too. Smack her.
Yeah.
Like, you need to talk to your sister. Just stop and talk to her. So, a little frustrated with Mercy.
Yes, we were very frustrated, especially when Xena tells her, hey, kitten, you're wrong right now, and you need to go and talk to your sister. And then she gets mad at Xena. Like, nobody should ever be allowed to get mad at Xena.
Yeah, right? That's what exactly. Like, she just became your familiar. You need to listen to what she's saying. That's what she's here for. And she didn't, so a little sad.
Sad.
I feel like Mercy doesn't get help. She should have listened.
Oh, she should have.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully things will turn around in
Yeah.
book 3.
Yeah, I think it will.
Or she stays in Duat. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. She could stay there.
She might not be too upset staying in Duat because she's got a hunky stud there with her.
Nice.
We all like
baboon
Kenty.
neighbours, demonic baboons chasing you. You know, that's good cardio.
Yeah.
And Merritt is there, and Merritt is a good mother, and she'll take care of them.
Lovely garden. Yeah, Merritt's garden.
She gets to stay
It
there
might
for a
not
while.
be so bad.
Yep.
She should. She deserves to stay there for a while.
She does.
With it being a trilogy, I can't help but be worried that Mercy doesn't have the character growth that she needs. But I hope she gets slapped. I really hope that Hunter physically slaps her and you sort yourself out, love, and stop being so selfish and listen to other people. And I'm worried that she's not going to get that in 300-400 pages.
Maybe she'll get scratched in the face by a zombie baboon, and that'll knock her down a peg.
Yeah.
So she'll be more down to earth when she has a cool face scar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And then nobody in the pizza shop will think that she's her sister ever again. Just annoying her
and
further.
that'll solve some of her pissiness. Everyone confusing her for Hunter all the time.
She can go and be the disfigured witch in the woods. Go and live in a chicken-legged cottage.
Yeah.
Next to a palm tree. Where our boar lives.
Mm-hmm. Yes. She can become Baba Yaga.
Good.
Oh my god. What's our last question? I feel like I tried to lead it.
I think it was about the nasty pizza.
Yes. Yes,
Would
it
you-
was about the nasty pizza.
It was. Would you rather eat a tuna, shrimp and broccoli pizza or a tuna sandwich with mayonnaise, onions and celery?
Well, I'm definitely not going with the pizza. Oh, that's disgusting. Yeah. Let's go with that tuna sandwich. But I'm gonna eat around those onions because that sounds gross. And then I would like to make a substitution. Instead of celery, we can do pickles.
It'll cost you an extra 50 cents, but yes.
Okay, that's what I'm going with. Unless you're gonna put the cannabis truffles on the pizza, then that might help with the taste, but probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like to eat tuna sandwiches.
Me too.
I've never put celery. Yeah, I've never put celery in my tuna sandwiches though, so I might have to try that.
Cucumber in a tuna sandwich. And sweet corn.
I don't think I've ever done cucumber either. Corn?
Sweet corn. Uh-huh.
No, that's
Tuna
weird.
sweet corn. Oh, it must be a British thing again. But yeah. Tuna mayonnaise, sweet corn mixed in, cucumber mixed in for crunch, tiniest little bit of vinegar in the tuna just to help bring out the flavour.
That's why you put pickles in it. The pickles.
Yeah.
That's why you put pickles in. Yes, you're right.
If you don't have pickles or a little bit of vinegar, literally just 3 drops. If you don't have pickles.
That's interesting. See, I like a tuna sandwich with... I like onions. I like cheese. I like pickles. I like tomatoes. I like some lettuce. I like some banana peppers. Maybe some jalapeno. Just mix it all in.
Sounds good.
That I would have without the bread. I would just have that as a salad.
That's also a thing. Yeah. But I definitely don't want tuna on a pizza because what kind of sauce does it have? Does it have like regular tomato red sauce? Because that does not sound good.
No.
Right, let's go back to Claire's childhood.
Oh no.
My mum used to get me, and it was only me who ate it because I love fish food, and I'm the only one in the family who really liked fish food. But she used to get me a tuna and prawn, or in your case, shrimp pizza. So that addition of broccoli is whatever. Broccoli is, but yeah, the delicious.
What's the sauce?
Is
it tomato sauce?
Yeah, tomato with garlic. It's but like it's got garlic and onion boiled down into it. It's not like chunks of onion or garlic. It's like a more passata, like a tomato in the sauce, but it's delicious. And I was at a restaurant a couple of weeks ago, a pizza restaurant, and they had a garlic prawn pizza, and I had that, and I shared it with my son, and we were both like, delicious. It's honestly really nice. So I'm happy with either of these. I'll have one for my dinner and then one for my lunch. Sorted. Except not celery, because celery makes my tongue go numb and I don't like it.
Yeah, celery's not for everyone.
No. But yeah, tuna, shrimp, broccoli, whatever. Lovely. Delish. Not evil, not wrong.
Okay.
I put pineapple on my pizza, so you can judge me all you like.
No, that's a reasonable pizza topping.
Yeah, I like pineapple.
Okay, so...
I'm honestly surprised the shock of having tuna on a pizza. I'm really, really surprised by how people are like, oh, really? Tuna? And even in the book, I was just like, yuck. Don't get it. It's delicious.
But that's what she ate everything. She ate the tuna and nothing else. So I guess tuna pizza.
Well, that's the thing with pizza.
I love that about her.
You get bored after a little while of the bread bit, and you just eat the topping.
Just eat the toppings. Yep.
Yeah.
But I love that Xena wants all of these extravagant things, and then she's like, well, actually, I'm just going to eat the tuna and the shrimp. I'm going to eat around the onions and the celery. Xena, just eat tuna. Just get tuna.
Yeah. Nothing else.
But she likes the mayonnaise as well.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So just give her a jar of mayonnaise, give her a couple of cans of tuna, and then go, fill your boots, there you go.
No, but you have to open it for her. You know how she struggles.
It's the nails.
The struggle is real.
Bless her, that scene where they walk in and she's like tried to open up all the cans and nothing's opening. And she's like, I tried to use the can opener, but it doesn't work. I don't understand. Yeah. Bless her.
Nobody's here to help me. What?
I don't know what to do.
So good.
She needs tuna in pouches, is what she needs.
She's very dependent on everybody else. Cats are very independent creatures. So I suppose Xena's a bit more pampered.
She could always, go out and eat a bird, but sometimes you want to have your tuna.
Right.
Yeah. She needs to learn the spoon technique with the cans.
I just think that she needs tuna in pouches. Yeah. We need to tell PC that she needs to invest in the tuna in pouches so Xena will always be happy. Because, she could just chew on that to open it.
You can get sandwich fillings in jars, and one of them's like a tuna. You can also get salmon as well, where it's in a jar as a sandwich filling, and she could open a jar.
I don't know if she could open a jar because her fingernails are really long.
You don't need nails to open a jar. You twist. She's got a opposable thumb now.
It's hard to grab stuff when you have long nails, though.
It is.
She's delicate.
You're babying her. She is.
She needs to be babied because she is a baby.
We love her.
She might be a precious.
We love her.
She might be a precious, precious fluff ball, but you're babying her. She needs to learn a little moderate amount of independence to get a tuna.
No, Xena deserves the world.
Well, I'm not denying that.
She has to deal with the twins. She deserves it.
She does.
She deserves
She needs some cannabis truffles after dealing with those girls.
She needs a specific person just to open tins and jars and pouches and feed her tuna mayonnaise and do her food runs just for dealing with Mercy alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does. Okay, so I know that's the end of Would You Rather, but Coral, we talked about what we thought would happen in book 3, because book 3 is the end. Hex You, out next year, is the end. So we want to know what you think is going to happen in book 3.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, since she put a hex on Kenty's dad, that's got to come in somewhere. Oh gosh, yeah. It'll be interesting to see. Hopefully it has.
What do you want to happen?
Well, we definitely know the snake. She's in town, taking over the PTA, so that'll be good. The PTA go down.
Will she not improve the PTA if, you know, the Japanese snake goddess monster thing takes over?
Yeah.
She's gonna ruin the next booster club.
Yeah.
She's gonna eat the next booster club.
And hopefully Kurt is there and he gets eaten.
Yes! We would be okay with Kirk getting eaten by Nuriona.
That's what I'm here.
Definitely fine. Definitely fine. What else? What else do you want to happen?
Kirk has to have some kind of comeuppance. So what's going to happen with him?
Yeah.
What's going to happen with Mercy? She's stuck in Duat. Are the trees going to be closed, rescued, survived, gates closed? What's your guess?
Right. Yeah, I think Hunter and Xena are hopefully going to figure out how to get them out. And then they're going to have to deal with the whole snake lady. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I feel like they're going to heal the trees because Hunter's got the book, and I feel like that's going to come into play too. To save the trees. Because she's going to get rid of her goddess. She's going to do it on her own. I feel like Hunter's got this.
Do you think Tyr's going to come into play?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely going to help her for sure. And then it's going to show her sister that she could have just...
You were wrong.
Yeah, you were right. I was wrong. Yeah, that's definitely going to come into play for sure. I'm excited.
Can I point out how frustrating it is that Freya essentially, you know, gives the green light and, you know, rewards Mercy for being a bitch to her sister and making her
here's
sister
a familiar for
forsake her god.
Yeah.
Oh, you're my devoted supplicant. Here's a lovely reward. I'm just going to forget about everything else that you've done that is horrible and terrible and makes you a horrible and terrible person. Where's the rule of 3? I ask you, where's the rule of 3?
But maybe with how she put a hex on Kenty's dad. I can't remember his name. But you know, it was ×3 if he did good. So maybe something, you know, he'll start, maybe he'll help her, you know, with the hex ×3, you know, maybe that'll come.
That's a good thought. Yeah. I didn't think about that, but they did mention, like, yeah, this is a clever hex because everything that he does is going to come back to him. But if he starts being good, then
maybe
that's a good idea.
Yeah, interesting. Do you think we'll see any other mythological creatures coming in? So we've got Egypt and we've got Japan in play. Do you think we're going to get any of the others?
We have the Japanese underworld, so I would hope so. Yeah. definitely. Not sure what it would be. But yeah,
I
for
know
sure.
the Norse one's there. I can't remember the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's the Norse gate. Gosh, what are the other gates?
I literally can't remember. Because
Get your framed thing off the wall.
Can you see it? I don't know. It's kind of blurry. Let's see. There's the Egyptian, Greek, Japanese, the Hindu, Norse tree.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean that'd be kind of cool. Hindu, yeah.
Yeah, because we've seen a little bit from the Greek. We had Polyphemus come through in the first one.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, we need to throw some Hindu stuff in there.
I would rather see the Hindu than the Norse.
Yeah.
The Norse is covered in a lot of other series and books, etc.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of Hindu.
No. Ooh.
Yeah. And that's gonna be exciting.
It's gonna be so fun.
When does that release? We still have a while.
Yeah, next spring?
Spring.
Is it next spring?
Probably.
But we also have Into the Mist
to
look forward to in just a couple of months. We're very excited about that one.
That'll be good.
Well, Coral, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It's
so
about
fun.
time.
I know. Yay.
You've been with us on Patreon since like the very beginning of Patreon becoming a thing.
I know.
You're finally here. We're so happy.
Thank you.
I love you girls. Thank you so much.
Are you going to come back next time for the last installment and have a full discussion with us?
Yes, I think that we have to do that. We have to go ahead and plan it now.
Okay, sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay, awesome. Thanks. We love you, Coral. Thanks so much.
I love you too.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye.
All right, bye. I love it when we have listener guests.
Yes.
I love it, and we need more.
Bring them back. Drew. I'm looking at you. When are you coming on? This is unacceptable.
Caitlin.
Rectify it.
Caitlin is new to the family. She has her video now, so that means she is here.
Get your butt on the Zoom calls.
Yes. We need more. It needs to happen. We are.
We told them.
All right. Favorite final thought quote? You got any?
Take off their heads before they take yours.
Ooh, yep. Yes, it's a good one.
And you know what? I'm going to stick with that one.
Just one?
Just one. I'm going to stick with that one because, yeah.
I've got a few then.
You know, you go for it. I like my one because it's how I'm feeling right now.
Yes, definitely take off their head. Yes.
Certain
take
characters.
Off Kirk's head.
Yes. And if Mercy's accidentally falls off as well. Wah, wah.
I'm gonna go, like, rub my vag all over Jack so he doesn't fumble any more balls. Oh, Hunter. You're so funny. Vag juice. Gross. Ooh, stop it.
Minge musk.
No. Who'd ever heard of a superhero who walked from crime fighting gig to crime fighting gig? It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a pedestrian?
Peter Parker, when his web fluid runs out.
Yes.
If it's that variation.
And he's standing on top of the building and he's trying to make his...
He's like, oh, now he just calls an Uber. Before, he had to walk.
Yeah. I will also say, well, kitten, I believe you said it best yesterday. Omens Bite.
Oh, Xena.
Oh, Xena. And finally, this was a big one throughout the entire book. And ye harm none, do what you will. That was what Abigail Goody taught her daughters about using magic. Do whatever you want, but don't harm anybody, okay? And they're like, yeah, okay.
Awkward. See,
But I thought that was a good one.
I like that. Mercy, though, she thinks it's physical harm, but I think it's also psychological.
It's any kind of harm.
Exactly. And Mercy doesn't realise this, and she needs to learn that lesson.
Mercy is harming everyone around her.
She's so badly named. There's nothing merciful about her.
No. All right. If you like this, try this.
I'm going to suggest something that I found today, actually.
Ooh, okay.
Instantly told about Constance and other people, and they're like, yes, it's on my list. So, oh, good. It's not due out till August. That's the expected publication.
Okay.
By Berkeley Books. So I think it's August 23rd is the date I found, but they're all, obviously with publications, it's never set in stone. And it's called A Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and it's by Sangu Mandana. I like this one because it's set in Britain as well. As one of the few witches in Britain, side note, who can say sodding and buggering and bloody and
it's okay.
And it's fine. As one of the few witches in Britain, Mika Moon knows she has to hide her magic, keep her head down, and stay away from other witches so their powers don't mingle and draw attention. And as an orphan who lost her parents at a young age and was raised by strangers, she's used to being alone and she follows the rules. With one exception, an online account where she posts videos pretending to be a witch. She thinks no one will take it seriously. But someone does. An unexpected message arrives begging her to travel to the remote and mysterious Nowhere House, emphasis added by me, to teach 3 young witches how to control their magic. It breaks all of the rules, but Mika goes anyway and is immediately tangled up in the lives and secrets of not only her 3 charges, but also an absent archaeologist, a retired actor, 2 long-suffering caretakers, and Jamie, the handsome and prickly librarian of Nowhere House, would do anything to protect the children. And as far as he's concerned, a stranger like Mika is a threat. An irritatingly appealing threat. As Mika begins to find her place in Nowhere House, the thought of belonging somewhere begins to feel like a real possibility. But magic isn't the only danger in the world, and when a threat comes knocking at their door, Mika will need to decide whether to risk everything to protect a found family she didn't know she was looking for.
Ooh.
Can you see all the not tentative links?
Yes. All they're non-tenuous. It is.
There's nothing
Yes.
tenuous about that recommendation at all.
No, none.
And I think it sounds really fun. And it looks.
I agree.
I'm judging the book by its cover, and the cover I saw is beautiful.
Wonderful.
What is the book that you have?
I have selected Edgewood by Kristen Ciccarelli.
Okay.
No matter how far she runs, the forest of Edgewood always comes for Emmeline Lark. The scent of damp earth curls into her nose when she sings, and moss creeps across the stage. It's as if the woods of her childhood, shrouded in folklore and tall tales, are trying to reclaim her. But Emmeline has no patience for silly superstitions. When her grandfather disappears, leaving only a mysterious orb in his wake, the stories Emmeline has always scoffed at suddenly seem less foolish. She enters the forest she has spent years trying to escape, only to have Hawthorne Fell, a handsome and brooding tithe collector, tried to dissuade her from her searching. Refusing to be deterred, Emmeline finds herself drawn to the court of the fabled Wood King himself. She makes a deal, her voice, for her grandfather's freedom.
Ooh.
Little does she know she stumbled into the middle of a curse much bigger than herself, one that threatens the existence of this eerie world she's trapped in, along with the devastating boy who feels so familiar. With the help of Hawthorne, an enemy turned reluctant ally who she grows closer to each day, Emmeline sets out to not only save her grandfather's life, but to right past wrongs, and in the process, discover her true voice.
Oh, that sounds really good.
That sounds really fun.
do we have an indie spotlight this week?
We do have an indie spotlight this week, and this one I would like to share came from my library. I got an email from a no, this one did not come from the library. I did get an email from a new publishing house, but this is not from that, so I'm lying to you. I am part of a horror narrator indie press group on Facebook, and I get emails from them sometime, and this is one of those. And this book is called Livingston Girls by Brianna Morgan, and it's been out for a while, but there was a new one that has just come out recently by Brianna Morgan, and so I thought, well, I'm going to go and dig back into her back catalog because they all sound super fun. So this one is called Livingston Girls. I see something in you, Miss Abbott, something I recognize. The potential for greatness, for channeling magic, for bending the world to your will. After an affair with her teacher, Rose's parents ship her off to Livingston Academy, a stuffy all-girls boarding school. You know how we feel about boarding school books. I mean,
Yes.
come on.
Yeah.
Ashamed of her past and herself, 16-year-old Rose just wants to chill, pass her classes, and make friends. The last thing on her mind is becoming a witch. Until the enigmatic headmistress gives her the chance to join a coven secret from the rest of the school. Yay, secret underground hidden things led by an enigmatic headmistress.
I want
Yes,
all
please.
of these things.
I know. Desperate to prove herself and looking for a purpose, the headmistress's offer seems too perfect to pass up. Rose puts on her metaphorical pointy hat and becomes a Livingston witch. She quickly discovers that the other witches don't want her in their group, especially because she's filling their dead friend's space. Ooh. But if they can't band together, the witch-hunting headmaster of the boys' school will kill them.
Oh my goodness.
Damn it. Meanwhile, Rose struggles to understand her growing feelings for her roommate, who may or may not hate her guts. You know, typical boarding school stuff. It sounds so fun.
That sounds so fun. We need next year, we're going to have a boarding school theme 1 month.
We are. We definitely are. We definitely are going to have a boarding school month.
Yeah.
So great.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is this the first 2023 theme we've come up with?
I think it might be boarding school.
I'm just going to pop and make a new Google document.
Yes, please do. Boarding schools.
Love it.
I can't believe we haven't even talked about it so far, as much as we love boarding school books. Like, why?
We did do a back to school theme one, but it was more like old school kind of.
Yeah, more like classic stuff.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, you can interpret it any way you wanted to. But
You
I think
can.
We probably hashtag tenuous linked that theme.
Yeah, of course we did.
But we're going to have to do boarding school.
We are going to have to do boarding school.
There's too many that are fun.
You know what? Maybe it should be summer school, and then all summer long we do boarding school books.
I'm literally opening the document now. I am doing it, dear listeners. It's happening. Create. No, go away notification. New document. 20.
You're hearing it live right now. We're creating 2023 schedule right now. Okay, while Claire is doing that, I'm just going to wrap up. I'm just going to wrap up our episode. So, that's it for this episode of Fictional Hangover. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire.
Join us next time as we discuss another book that fits in with our May theme, May the Force Be With You, Rebel Rising by Beth Revis. And with Beth Revis, we love Beth Revis! Look out for our Would You Rather polls on social media. Don't forget about our book club and monthly challenges on Facebook. Be sure to visit our shop on Redbubble at fictionalhangover.redbubble.com for all your favorite Fictional Hangover themed merchandise, and become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover. Until next time, remember, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book.
You can find us at fictionalhangover.com, follow us on Instagram at fictionalhangover, find us on Facebook at facebook.com/fictionalhangover, and on Twitter at fictionalhangover, no ER. If you'd like this episode, check out our others and rate, review and subscribe so you don't miss out. And finally, special thanks to Liz Emerson for our music. You can find her on Facebook and Patreon. Thanks for listening.